Hi guys, today we're going to do Access Chapter 4. In Access Chapter 4 we are pretty much creating a database from an Excel spreadsheet, importing all that information. We're going to create a form and then we're going to do some reporting. So we get a little bit more in detail with forms as well as more detail with the reporting. So let's get started. Step 2 says to open the items table in design view. So I'm going to open that in design view. And we are going to change the ID field to item ID. And we will leave it as an auto number. And then we're going to add a second field, name description. And that's going to be a short text, but we want the field size to be 50. Okay. Then we're going to enter in some more fields: date of donation, category, price, donor name, donor address 1, and then donor address 2. So as we do these, I'm going to change the data type. You can enter in all the fields first and then change the data type, or you can change the data type as you go, and I'm going to do it as I go. So date of donation, we want it to be a date time. Category is going to stay a short text, and then price is going to be currency. Donor name is short text. Donor address 1 is short text, and donor address 2 is short text. Perfect. Now we're going to look at the Excel spreadsheet that we're going to import the data. And they're basically wanting you to see, look, here's the order. And you can see that this matches what our table looks like. Okay, so here, these are our field names for our table. And here you can see the heading names match. So let's look at the sizes of these. By default, the short text size is 255 characters. We don't need it to be that big. These are fairly short. So we're going to just go ahead and we're going to shorten these field sizes. So you can go ahead and close this. And we're going to come in here and we're going to change the field sizes. The length of category, donor address 1, and donor address 2. We're going to change category to 15, donor address 1 to 25, and donor address 2 to 30. So I'm going to click on category. I'm going to change the 255 to 15. Donor address 1, I'm going to change it to 25. And donor address 2, I'm going to change it to 30. And then we're just going to save the table and close it. Perfect. Sorry, we're not going to close it. We want it in data sheet view. So here's data sheet view. And we see all there's nothing in here because we just created all the fields. And we actually need that spreadsheet back open. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy these records and put them into Access. And you can do a straight copy and paste. Since we've matched up all of the fields, we know that they're going to go into the right spot. Okay, so I'm just going to take these. I'm going to highlight A2 through H27, and I'm going to copy. And I'm going to minimize that, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to put my cursor over the edge, you know, over where this little star is, and my cursor changes to that arrow. From there, I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to say paste. And there it says, you're about to paste 26 records. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Now all our data is in a database instead of in a spreadsheet. Perfect. Now it wants you to auto-fit the columns. So I'm just going to auto-fit these columns. There we go. Now we can save and close the table. Perfect. Okay. Then with the items table selected, we're going to create a new form using the form tool. So I'm going to go to create, and I'm just going to do a basic form. And it's going to put it in here in a default manner. We're going to change it to a tabular layout. So if we go to Arrange, you can click tabular here, but it really messes it up because you only have one thing selected. So we're going to select everything and do tabular. Now it comes across and it goes, everything gets put across, which is what we want, except for it's really long. Okay, so in order to shorten that, we're going to change our field sizes. So for item ID, now what you need to do is you need to actually select both the label as well as the field, the data field. And you do that by holding down the control key, and you click the first one, hold the control key, click the second one. Okay, and then over here under your property sheet, if you don't already have this open, you can come over here to Design, and here under Tools, you can click Property Sheet. We're going to change the width of item to 0.75. Okay, and then we want description is going to be 1.3. As well as date of donation. Category, we want that to be 0.75, as well as price. And you can do both of those at the same time. And then donor name, donor address 1, as well as donor address 2, we want 1.3. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so now we can actually see everything, which is good. Okay, now when you do this, you'll notice here this did not move, and that's okay. If this had been selected, it would go right here. And I think in my example, it does that. So again, if you hit Control A and go to Arrange, and although it's already saying tabular, so let's see if yeah, it puts it down there, but it doesn't do it very nicely. So I'm going to actually not save this, and I'm going to redo it. I won't make you watch the whole thing, but I will show you how to do it. So I did a Control A to select everything and not just this table. And then I'm going to go to Arrange and say tabular. And you'll notice now it puts this down here. And then we can change our field sizes. So I'm going to pause this and I'm going to change my field sizes because you know how to do that. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my field sizes back to normal. They want you to change the title of the form. So this is going to be items for auction. And then go ahead and make that a little bit smaller so that it, whoops, not that small, so that it comes and fits properly. Okay, now we're going to add conditional formatting. Now we did this in Excel, and it's a really neat little feature. So, and we can do this in Access as well. We want our price to be green if it's over $90. So I'm going to select this price field here. And I'm going to go to Format and Conditional Formatting. So under Conditional Formatting, now you can see, show the formatting rules for price. And you're going to say New Rule. And so we're going to say field is greater than 90. We want the font color not to be red, but to be green. Okay, and say OK, and say OK again. And if you go through, you'll see here now where it's $100, it's green. Okay, we're going to save this form, and we're going to save it as auction items form. And then we're going to go to form view. Okay, so now we're in form view, and they want us to add a new record. So I'm going to create a new record. The description is an iPad 1231. Okay, so now we have that information in there. Step 10, we're going to add a sort to the form so that the lowest priced items are displayed first. So again, I'm going to click on this in the 400, and I'm just going to click ascending so that now we have record 1 is our lowest priced one, and if you go through the forms, you'll see each one gets higher in value, which is what we want. Okay, now we're going to save this form and close it. Okay, next we're going to select the items table, so it's still selected, and we're going to create a report using the report wizard. So I'm going to use the report wizard. Include all of the fields except the donor address fields. So you can do this a couple of ways. You can, just as we did before, double click over, or you can just do all of them and then remove the 2 donor address fields. Okay, next, we're going to sort by category or group by category. We are not going to sort anything, but we are going to do summary options, and we want the sum of the price. Okay, and then say next. We're going to accept the default layout, and then we're going to name it auction items by category. And say finish. We're good to go. Okay, now you'll notice all these pound signs. This is just like in Excel. If you've got pound signs, then the data is too big to fit in the field that it was assigned. So we need to fix that because obviously this doesn't give us any information. So close your print preview view and you're going to go to layout view. So in layout view, we're going to resize the date of donation control so that the left edge of the control aligns with the left edge of the column. Okay, so date of donation, we want to make this so that the left edge aligns with the left edge of that column. And then we're going to select the price and sum of price controls and increase the width to 0.75. So I'm going to select price, and I'm going to hit the control key and click the sum of price as well as this grand total down here. And I'm going to come over here to width, and I'm going to say 0.75. Okay, now you can say, oh, wait a minute, it's taken over here. So we're going to move this and do the donor name as well as by hitting control, the control key, so you can select both of them, and we're going to make this smaller. It doesn't really matter how small, but we just want to make it so that it's not overlapping. You don't necessarily want it all the way to the edge, but you also want to make sure that all of your data is visible, which in our case now it is. Okay. Once you've done that, you can actually go back to print preview and make sure that you can see everything, which you can. There's page 1, and if you go to page 2, you see that information. So we're good there. And then we're going to go back to layout view. Okay, and in layout view, We want to sort the report so that the least expensive item is displayed first within each group. So we still want it by category, so it's sorted by category, but within the category, we want the least expensive item to be first. So in this instance, we want this $25 gift card to be first. So to do this, you're going to go to the Home tab, and let's see. Yeah, Home tab's the best place to do it. And we're going to do advanced filter and sort. Nope, that's not what we want. Okay, it's actually under the report layout tools, which is what I thought. I thought it was in the wrong, I was looking in the wrong spot, but when I looked here, it looks different on my other computer than it does on here. You have this group right here for group and sort. So this is what we want to click, this button here for group and sort. So if I click that, you're going to see it's already grouped on category. Within category, that's what this little down arrow means, we're going to add a sort. And we're going to sort on price. And we want from smallest to largest. That's exactly what we want. And you can see here it's already sorted it. So once you've done that, you can close your group and sort window and then save and close your report. Perfect. Now we're going to create mailing labels because we want to be able to send mail to all of our donors to say thank you. So again, make sure that your items table is selected. We're going to go to create, and you've got a little button here that says labels. We're going to click labels. We want the Avery, so here's your brand names here. So all your different, they've got tons of them, different brand names of labels. Most popular, I believe, is Avery. So I'm going to select Avery, and then down, I'm going to just come down, and they are somewhat in numerical order. And we want 5660. Seriously. There we go. 5660. Okay. And we're going to say next. We're going to accept the default text appearance. And then we're going to add their information. So we want the donor name to appear on the first line. So I'm going to double click and that comes over here. Then I'm going to hit enter because we want the donor address 1 to appear on the next line, and hit enter, and then donor address 2 to appear on the third line. So that's what we want it to look like. So I'm going to click next. Sort the labels by donor name. And then name the report donor labels. And then say finish. And you just say okay to this. And there are our labels, all nice and pretty and exactly what we want them to look like. Once you're done with that, you close your print preview, and you can close your the label, and we're done. Close your database and submit it, and you're good to go. We will see you next time for PowerPoint Chapter 1. So we're done with Access, yay! And we're on to our last module, which is PowerPoint. We get to do lots of cool and fun things with PowerPoint. And then next week, your last exam will open up. And then after that will be the final, and you will be done. So I hope y'all have a great day, and we'll see you next time.